What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Stay Breaking Show. Episode 3 had quite the hiatus the last episode was, I think, July 20th. So it's literally been over 2 months since the last episode. A lot has been going on that I just haven't gotten the chance to sit down and go. But something happened this week with some big releases, and I was like, you know what? It's time to be back. It's time for another episode. So glad to see some of you guys in the chat. I see CPA. Welcome in, man. Great to have you here as always. HJ Rex, I am back. You're right. Benjamin, it's begun. Yes, sir. David Hernandez, now it is here. It's not almost here anymore. Now it is here. What's up, man? Benjamin. Not a ton, man. We have a lot. You can tell by the shirt what exactly we're going to get into today, and obviously by the thumbnail. Some very big releases. There's been some partnerships that LEGO announced. LEGO tried to take something away from us that was very quickly shot down, but we'll get into that. And there's a couple promos that we want to go through. And we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card to LEGO Shop. I'll go ahead and throw the giveaway QR code up for that. There's also a link in the description, so choose whichever one you want. You can either scan this QR code to form the entry. Actually, I should probably change the entry to now, accepting responses. That would probably be a wise thing to do. There we go. Now you can actually go and fill it out. And at the end of the live stream, we'll go ahead and give away $25 US to LEGO Shop. We'll just digitally distribute it to you. Real easy, real simple. We did it before and it was awesome. So let's jump right into it. Obviously, I said before, the Return of the Jedi shirt here. The big release was this week. We finally got some official looks at the Jabba's UCS sail barge. This has been a long time coming. This set was rumored during 2023. Me personally, when I heard the rumors for it, very excited. Something we've just gotten a big, habit of with UCS sets is large gray ships, or in the case of the AT-AT Walker, transport. Millennium Falcon, the Venator, I know it's got a little bit of dark red, but it's mostly gray. Millennium Falcon, AT-AT, Razor Crest, there's so much dark gray. The TIE Interceptor, it's cool, but it's not one of the flagship sets. Every October we get that flagship UCS set, and when we found out it was going to be the Jabba sail barge, really piqued my interest. Then and more information started coming out. Minifigure lineups, release dates, piece counts, and the price. The price, before we got the images, was something that I was not too thrown off by, like a $500 price point. I thought it felt right. The piece count then at 3,900 kind of concerned me a little bit, but I was still hopeful that when we got the pictures, hey, it was going to be worth it. And now they're here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Also, we're probably going to run into a couple little bugs tonight since it's been 2 months since I've been streaming. So just hang with us a little bit here, But let's go ahead. Benjamin, yeah, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Obviously the voice of Darth Vader, the voice of Mufasa, so many others. A very big part of pop culture the last, 50 plus years. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Let's go ahead and bring up the sail barge here. Go ahead and get that lower third out of the way. There we go. We got our first little bug. This is what we got. So for $500, I don't know. Like, it looks good. It really does. I'm not saying it looks bad, but for $500, I think that the pictures they took of it really don't do the size justice. I've seen plenty of the early reviews out of Solid Brick Studios, Jang Bricks, Brixie. I watched a bunch of them. Gene's version, I've watched through a ton of those early reviews, and I think those show a much better depiction of how big this UCS set is. It's, like I said, it's over 30 inches long. It's not small, but the focal length of the lenses that they use to take pictures, it just doesn't make it look the biggest. But I think a part of the thing, too, is you're looking at this knowing, hey, this is a $500 set. It just doesn't feel that way. This feels to me like a $350 to $400 set. I know, we are loaded with minifigures. Zoom in a little bit more. Loaded. And I'm shocked, we'll get straight into it, that we even got a Slave Leia in the set, period. I thought this was something that Disney and that LEGO is going to completely stay away from. Even when they announced the minifigures, I was still a little hesitant. How are they going to do it? To be honest with you, the minifigure looks great. The hairpiece is exceptional. The printing looks awesome. I think that it's slightly revised from the 2013 version. The one problem is the legs. And I've heard plenty of other content creators make this comparison, and I'm going to say it too. They look like basketball shorts. Though it does not look like the long, like, slit dress or skirt that she's wearing in the movie. It just doesn't. The way that they ended up doing her minifigure was with dual molded legs, top half dark red, bottom half light nougat, was not the way to go. And CPA, if you're still hanging in here, I watched your video on it and you were like, Leia was just showing too much cheek in the previous version for Lego. And yeah, that must have just been the case, you know? So they ended up going with the whole dark red. I think, and I forget who brought this up. It could have been M&R. It might have been someone, I can't remember off the top of my head. But they said just as simple as, hey, if they just put a single print along the side that made it broken up and showed that the leg was coming through on the side, I think you would have fixed your problem. I think you could have gone with the whole red dual molded legs. You just needed to still show that, hey, this is like a slit skirt. This is not just like basketball shorts is what it looks like right now. But nevertheless, the fact that they included her kind of surprising to me. The other big minifigure of a lot of people, and hot take, a lot of people are real pumped up about Max Rebo. I am not one of them. I gotta be honest, I'm just not. He's cool in the movie. He's an awesome, sick character. And the minifigure is exactly the same as that 2013 version. So is it really that big of a deal that we're getting him back? What, just so that it's not as expensive on the secondary market? Sure. I don't know. Cool head mold. Cool, like, monochrome body and legs, but I don't know. I'm not going crazy about him. Bib Fortuna is a hot take on minifigures too, since his headpiece is exactly the same as the Book of Boba Fett set. The problem is that in the Book of Boba Fett, Bib Fortuna weighs a lot more. He's a big dude in the Book of Boba Fett. The headpiece just shouldn't be that same size. It shouldn't. It should be a little bit thinner. I understand they would have had to create a whole new mold. Boo-hoo, Lego. But it's just a little bit too thick. CPA had a really funny segment in his video for it, of the whole thick part of it. It just is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump back out of here, and we're going to go to the actual Lego posting for the Jabba Sail Barge just to get a better look at one of these minifigures, because perhaps one of the biggest, oh man, that did not work. Perhaps one of the biggest controversies with this set, aside from the price, is the C-3PO minifigure, and we'll get into that real quick. Let me just catch up on the chat here. I've seen a lot of messages come popping down here. Toa Master, hey man, just been binging your old Bionicle videos. Glad to see you're enjoying them. Yeah, man. Benjamin, currently working on parts to finish a Toa Nuju I got in a parts lot. Nice, man. Which one? The Metro Nui one? Mock? Something else? Curious to hear. Nuju's a beast, man. Toa Master. Nice. I looked for ages for him in some part lots because I wanted him the blue eye stalk. Yeah, so they're going back and forth about Nuju. Yeah, man, dude. Nuju's sick. CPA says, yeah, for real, true. Even a tiny little print on the side. I know. This is talking about Leia. Just a little tiny little print would have done so much for the figure. It would have made it, I don't think anyone could really complain about it. But you gave her basketball shorts. She's not wearing Nike shorts in the movie. She's wearing a slit dress. What are we doing? For a $500 set, you should be on that detail. And we're going to get into some more details real quick that they should have gotten as well. But I'm going to continue going through the chat here. HJ Rex says, Slave Leia is a dunk on the minifigures in this set. Are you saying like a positive dunk, like an old Blake Griffin, like posterized dunk? Like I said, the minifigure is great. It's just tiny little detail on the legs. It's a tiny little bit that could have made it exceptional. Her hairpiece, I think, is incredible. But just that. Now, a solution that you could do is you could use her old legs for this set. And if you're someone who kind of does that with your sets, you do some substitutions, maybe a little bit of touch-ups, it's a great solution. Benjamin says, I need the hip and the joint pieces for your Nuju. The ones you had in the lot were too loose or broken. That tends to happen with old Bionicle pieces, man. It's a shame. Metru Nuju. Nice, man. Dude, the Toa Metru are like peak Toa, in my mind. CPS says, regarding 3PO, there was some dialogue that it's technically accurate because in Return of the Jedi, 3PO has a gold leg on Endor, but he actually does have a silver leg on Tatooine, but it's fixed later. So I guess it's still, and let's go ahead and just jump straight into C-3PO, man. He's unfortunately covered by me right now. Let's go ahead and I'll move him a little bit. I'll move this a little bit here. We'll be a little funky here. And you know what? At that point, let's just go ahead and pull the photo up of him. Oh, this is perfect, actually. We don't even have to do that. Here we go. Now I got to move this screen back. And there it is. So there's 3PO. Obviously, the highlight shot's Jabba. R2, the drink cart looks fantastic. But look at 3PO. His leg has that little bit of silver and there. And the problem is, and I have the Luke's UCS Landspeeder sitting about 10 feet over to my right. This is not the best version of C-3PO that we've even gotten this year. In 2 other sets in the previous 18 months, we've gotten the UCS Luke's Landspeeder with the better 3PO and the 3PO from this summer, the buildable character, both of which had dual molded silver leg on the bottom, the gold on the top. And why did they not choose to put it in this set? This set is worth over double the amount of the UCS Landspeeder and 5 times about the price of the buildable C-3PO. Why are we not getting the best version of the minifigure? There is no rational answer for that other than they're just being cheap. And it's sad to see with an expensive set, but that's the truth. Now, we brought up the idea of switching Leia's legs around. Something you can do is the same thing with C-3PO. Those legs are $11 on Bricklink, or at that point, you might as well just buy the whole figure for about $13 on Bricklink. It sucks. I know, you're getting a $500 set, but if it matters that much to you, you can swap it out for just $11. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, if you're really caught up on the 3PO, I think it's worth a little investment. And then going back to Leia real quick, CPA says the old Leia legs are like $2 on Bricklink. So there you go. For $13, you can fix a lot of those minifigure problems. It's a shame that you have to go and do it through a third party, but you can do it. HJ Rex said it was a joke on her legs. Yeah, the dunk. Benjamin says, I think what would have been a cool detail on 3PO would have been a bit of slime printed on the figure. Oh, that is awesome. When he is in Jabba's palace and he gets pushed over to the side and then he's got the slime on him. That would have been awesome if they went with a unique 3PO for this set. But, you know, they obviously went below the top standard for 3PO on the set. That would have just been a pipe dream. But yeah, they could have done something like that. That would have been an awesome callback, man. So otherwise, those minifigures are solid. I mean, we got R2 right here. Let's go ahead and cycle through some more photos here. There's Bib Fortuna in a kitchen in Jabba's sail barge. There's some funny recipes. I won't spoil it of what they are, but they're Star Wars universe recipes, and they're quite funny. There we can see his headpiece just being, again, just a little bit too thick, just a little bit. It's more so the problem of they reused it from a set where he's much bigger. If this was like the original mold that they made just for this set, I don't think it'd be as big of a deal, but the fact that they reused it from when he was a different size completely, that's the problem, right? And CPA, yeah, man, obviously not nearly enough minifigures, and we will get into that as we go through some more of these photos because this thing is huge. We see a Gamorrean guard hanging out in the side. We get one of those in this set. Would have loved to see 2 of them. I feel like in every piece of Star Wars media, guards, there's 2. There's always 2. Should have gotten more than 1, you know? Tone Master says, I do really like the internal details of the set, but I'm personally not into it. Hey man, to each their own. They definitely did a killer job with the interior. We'll cycle through some more photos here. There's a little holding cell. And there's that Gamorrean guard, so it's actually just they slid the camera down a little bit, so this room is next to the kitchen. There's the Gamorrean guard. And CPA, you pointed this out in your video. These studs that they put throughout the interior of the sail barge, excellent, because that means you can actually pose minifigures on the inside. If it's completely tiled off, you can't do that, and they just fall every time you move it. So I really like that there's studs there as well. Pandre 8 says, guys, don't forget to leave a like. Yeah, always. Always leave a like if you like the video. If you don't, then, I mean, hey, it still helps us. So, like, do the good deed, right? Yeah, go ahead, like the stream. Leave some comments once it's over. I love engaging with you guys. Leave some comments in the live chat. Obviously, we're just going to keep rapid firing through. There's another look at the kitchen with R2 and 3PO with a spilled drink. You know, you can't be doing that, R2. Can't be spilling people's drinks. And 3PO obviously whining about the whole situation, per typical. I think they really did crush the interior, and you kind of see about how we get access to it. There's Leia on top of the sail barge, pointing the gun. Obviously, Luke Skywalker freaking out in the scene, pointing at the deck, pointing at the deck. That's the gun here. Love all those little details. But again, look, see, just a little slit right there would have been perfect. But no, we got to wear basketball shorts. Honestly, like, yeah, like early 2000s basketball shorts. Those things are coming down to the shins. And there's a look at kind of that full interior of the set. You can see all the different rooms. We have the kitchen. There's the room with the holding cell. That's Jabba's main room in here. And then we've got a little front area there where we got I guess he's a pilot for the barge. I don't know, is he a driver or a pilot? It's levitating, so, like, technically pilot, but, like, everything in Star Wars levitates. So, like, how do we... You guys be the judge. Anyways, you can see that these panels just fold down. There's a couple little pieces right here, those openings. That's where these attach to keep it secured once it's folded up. But it looks great. I think this would be an awesome display option looking through on the inside. I think with the Razor Crest UCS set, I had that one. It was kind of a pain to kind of look at the interior because you had to pull off so much of the set just to get access to it. With something like this, it's much easier. It's just a fold down panel. And then if you want to switch it back, just fold them up. I really like that design. Here's a little display plaque, the Jabba sail barge. It's funny because I don't know if these are renders. A lot of these pictures now are renders. They're not actual photography. But you can see how clean this is. And once again, I remember the first time I ever noticed it was one of M&R's videos. He pointed out that they Photoshop out the little nipple in the middle of the mold mark here. And yeah, they continue to do it, but it's a printed tile, so when you get it, there's the mold mark in there. So I personally don't think it's that big of a deal, but if Lego knows that it looks better without it, why don't you actually try to fix it, or just go back to stickers? I didn't mind the stickers. Why don't you just go back to stickers? But there's Jabba. Obviously, he's the same mold as the 2013 version, but different printing. Recently, we've had this effect in Lego Star Wars where the eyes are no longer with pupils. For Jabba, they just simply could never do that. If they did, this immediately would have tanked the set beyond just what the price point does to it. Jabba's pupils are iconic, man. They're huge eyes. You have to include them. A little bit of different color, little details on here from the 2013 version. So that's the main difference, but it's fantastic to get Jabba back in a set for the first time in 11 years. This right here really ticks me off. I understand it's 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars, but you guys let me know in the chat if you agree. I feel like we've seen like 80 of these bricks this year. I'm tired of it. It's not cool anymore. Kind of like the box art's not cool anymore. We'll get to that soon. I don't care. And I'm glad that it's removable and then you can just put the tile down, because I would be doing that right away. But yeah, I don't care that it's the 25th anniversary anymore. If you're going to make a brick like this and you want it to stay special throughout the whole year, I think you should have just dedicated it to a couple sets and not all of them, or like just about all of them. Personally, it's my take on the whole thing. Let's go ahead and jump back, catch up in the chat real quick. Got quite a few things here. CPS says, Jang's website review of this set is absolutely on point. His critiques are very well spoken to what we all have been saying. Definitely a good check out. If you guys don't watch Jang's reviews already, yeah, check him out, because his articulation, his verb, he's spot on with all of his things. He's a very realist review. He's very kind of just like straightforward, a little bit drier, not a lot of emotion going on, but he's just spitting facts, man. He's just spitting facts about sets. HJ Rex says this should have included a side build. We will get to that in one moment, but absolutely it should have. Towmaster says, what's with the whisk? Hey man, they got to cook with something. I think what they're cooking. Jeez. CPA says one of Jang's biggest critiques of the design is that you're really never going to be able to appreciate the interior unless you have the second layer completely off or you have side studio lighting to light up the lower deck. So it's practically never going to be seen very well. So CPA, I'm curious on your opinion on this. With Light My Bricks releasing their 2.0 version, where if you buy the kits, you can actually install them as you're building the set, that's something I would want to see and then would probably pick up and build at the same time as this set. Because yes, there's that entire top deck. Obviously here they're lighting it from the front and you can see in, but in like your house, unless you have natural light pouring in, this top is going to cover it, and you can remove the top. That is a thing, but I totally see how it's just going to be pitch black in like the average environment. But I'm curious to see how Light My Bricks handles the whole situation, because if you can install that light kit as you're building it, it might solve it. And if it's dark in there, it might provide some really cinematic lighting. I feel like that's something to definitely keep in mind. Stardust Princess says, so I haven't actually wanted Star Wars sets in quite a while, so this could just be a me thing, but I don't really see why people wanted the sail barge so bad. Jabba's ship just doesn't seem like a highlight. So, as someone who did really want a larger version of this, and I've seen MOCs before, Anio made an incredible MOC way back in the day. I can't believe I'm saying that because it was like 12 years ago. But it's definitely one of those more iconic vehicles from Star Wars. It definitely needed something bigger than what the playsets were. If we had just gotten another playset, I mean, think about the trend right now with LEGO Star Wars and kind of LEGO in general of more smaller pieces, shrinking the size down, price going up. If they did that for Jabba's sail barge, look at what we got with that most recent Republic gunship. Don't think it would have hit very well, and it was time for a new version of it. I mean, personally, that's kind of where my interest was for the whole thing, and it does present an opportunity to just get a load of minifigures, great display piece. Are there other vehicles that maybe they should have prioritized? Yeah, absolutely, you can make that argument. But this is I think if you are super into Star Wars, I think this is one that kind of piques your interest of like, hey, like I'm curious what this is going to end up being. Wasn't at the top of my list, but it could be really cool. Towmaster says, it just doesn't look like there's much room from Jabba himself to sit on the deck. So, obviously, it doesn't happen in the movie. In the movie, Jabba just kind of hangs out in his little area here. I can't tell the scale of this. Is this minifigure scale? I think it's slightly smaller than minifigure scale. Just because there's not a ton of room in the interior. Obviously, Lego minifigures aren't, like, proportionally accurate in every dimension like their height might be minifigure scale, but they're wider than what a human would be, so they just take up more space. But yeah, there's not a ton of room. I don't know if Jabba could even fit. Maybe like right in this area here he could fit. But other than that, I don't think so. Benjamin, with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee being made into Lego, who would you like to see next for Lego Transformers? Dude, Megatron. Actually, I'd rather see a Camaro Bumblebee. I know that they're remaking it for the originals, but give us that Camaro. Otherwise, Megatron. Give me the big bag. Give me Calvin Johnson. Kramer says, all of the exposed studs on the exterior make it feel super not polished in my opinion, though I understand why it's like that. And I'm going to go ahead and bounce off of you for this one, Kramer. I'm going to go ahead and pull back to one of those images of the outside of it. And yeah, obviously a ton of studs. It reminds me a lot of Anio's MOC. Anio's was built very different. There were sloped pieces along this entire front part, and not the studs exposed. I'm someone that I don't hate the look of studs. I don't love when it's completely 100% tiled, because then it just doesn't look like Lego. And like I do still want to show people like, hey, like I'm building Lego. Like I'm not just, it's not a display studio model. But there are a lot of studs here. And at the end of the day, I think it's just the way that they had to build those panels. Like, your options were either to build them in snot, which probably would have made them too thick. So there's definitely that. I think that's the reason why. And if you tiled the entire thing now to get these more, extrusions of these window pieces, now you're pulling those out even further. So I'm curious what a tiled version of this would look like. But I am someone that doesn't mind the stud look as much as other people. However, I do see if you're buying a collector set, I do see why you could want it to be a lot more studless than this, of like, hey, I want this to be a little bit cleaner. I see that side of it. Towmaster says, Jang is the only reviewer I have trusted for many years. Now I found your channel too. Oh, sweet, man. So that's awesome. Thank you. I trust Jang because, number one, I don't think he's affiliated with LAN anymore, which doesn't necessarily mean that much, but it means he's spending his own money to get it. And there's a slightly different perspective when you're spending your money to get something versus when you're just making content for it. I do think that's true. I'm not saying that people who get the sets for free are biased. That I don't think is true. But it does hit a little bit different if you don't have to spend $500. So I really like Jang for those perspectives. Towmaster says, also, I meant the whisk on the deck by the gun. Oh, okay. Okay, the whisk on the deck by the gun. Probably just a control. A lever, something, a little detail. CPA jumping back to the light my bricks point. I would imagine that's another $100 of lighting. That's true. At least another $100. So now we're looking at a $600 set. That's a little crazy. HJ Rex says, should have included a better gift with purchase. The gift with purchase we're going to talk about, I think it could have been better. I heard an idea come out, and I wish I could remember the source of who said it. Again, I was binging so much about this in the last couple of days that I can't call it off the top of my head, but someone made a very good suggestion for a gift with purchase that I think would have been better instead. Stardust Princess says, that is fair, I suppose, about the Jabba sail barge. Could just be that it's a brown ship with brown sails. Yeah, it's definitely not the most attractive to someone who's not super into Star Wars. If you know Jabba sail barge, I feel like it's like, oh, cool. But if you're not, I can totally see this as being like, yeah, that's just a big brown log. Or as CPA called it in his video, a turd. So I definitely see that perspective for someone who's not super into Star Wars. CPA says, definitely smaller than minifig scale. You can see that gun on the deck spans the whole width, essentially. Yeah, and that's what, so do you think the overall dimensions are close to minifigure scale? But then, like, the smaller details aren't? That's what I wonder, and that's what it kind of looks like to me. CPS says, I love the gift with purchase. Been wanting a one-to-one Lego hilt line forever. You know what? Let's just go ahead and talk about the gift with purchase. We'll come back to Jabba in one quick second here. But the gift with purchase is a Luke Skywalker's lightsaber Return of... Oh, I almost just said Revenge of the Jedi. That would have been a real throwback. Return of the Jedi edition. They value it at a mere $22, but I can tell you you're going to pay at least 10x that to get it. As someone who still has the sealed Yoda's lightsaber from the Mos Eisley Cantina set, these things are incredible value. But it's awesome. This is awesome. I think there's better options that they could have done. 145 pieces. For some reason, it's ages 18 plus. I'm sorry. For some reason, it's 18 plus. I don't get it. But it looks really cool. I think what they could have done instead, and this is the suggestion that I heard from somebody else, was what if they did a skiff? What if they did a separate skiff? Because in the movie, there are multiple skiffs. And obviously we got the Desert Skiff set, which is controversial in its own right for being $80. Now we have another overpriced Tatooine Return of the Jedi set. Man, a gift with purchase of another skiff and maybe a couple extra minifigures that aren't in either of these, man, would that incentivize buying it on day one. Are you kidding me? And it just would have completed the display a little bit more. And I think that would also maybe take away from the sense of like, hey, this is just a big brown log. I feel like that helps it as well. Why didn't they? However, to get this gift with purchase, we probably should say real quick, you have to buy the sail barge within probably the first couple days. Let's see if we go to the offers here, if we'll just straight up tell us Nope, it doesn't. Because it's not currently available. Duh. But you're going to have to buy it pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if this sells out early. If you want to have it guaranteed, then I suggest just purchasing the set online. If you want to take a little bit more of a risk, go to your Lego store to pick up the sail barge, and they probably will have one, but understand that they may not, and then you might end up ordering it online anyways. So if you're going to order it at midnight online, yeah, you're going to get it. I wouldn't fret about that. And all Toa Master says, nice to chat with you all. I'm going to sleep now. Good night, guys. Peace, man. Have a good night. Thank you for joining in and loading up in the chat. Appreciate everybody who's leaving messages. So yeah, that gift with purchase, could it have been better? Sure. But I think it's pretty good. I think, like you said, CPA, we never have gotten a lightsaber hilt line. There's only ever been MOCs for it. We got the Yoda's lightsaber with the Mos Eisley Cantina release, the Luke Skywalker lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back or Anakin's lightsaber, but it's slightly modified for Empire Strikes Back, just a little note, with the UCS AT-AT, and now we get the Luke Skywalker with Jabba sail barge. And, now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually a decent part of the scene, is R2 launching the lightsaber out of his dome so Luke can catch it and kick off that entire ambush on Jabba. So it actually is like a decent from that sense. I think it would have been better if they included a skiff or something else to complete it. And then you add on that Desert Skiff set for $80. Man, this is quickly adding up. If we want, so if you were to buy the Jabba sail barge, there's a $500 bill right there. Assuming you're in the U.S., international price is obviously a little different. But then you just want to have a little bit bigger of a display, so you pick up the $80 Desert Skiff set. Now you're at $580. But then you're going to take the Light My Brick suggestion that I just made, and you're going to pick that up for, let's say, $115. And now we're at $700 for this complete kit. Boy, that's a lot. But if we go back to that gift with purchase, this is where you can save some money, and this is where you can get some value out of this set if you are interested in buying it day one. I can guarantee you this is going for at least $175, $200. At least after release. Especially since not a lot of people are going to be picking up the set. When the Mos Eisley Cantina came out and the UCS AT-AT came out, people were in love with them. Absolutely in love with them. Tons of people were picking up. There was so much stock. Not that many people are going to be picking up the Jabba sail barge. So there might not be as many of these circulating around at first. So let's say you go ahead and you buy the Jabba sail barge because you like the set. You just think it's overpriced like I do. And then you go and you turn around and you sell the Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Bam, now you just saved yourself about $150, $200 off the set, and you're hitting that $350 price point. I personally will not be doing that, because I would want to keep the Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, just to fill it with my Yoda's lightsaber sealed collection there. But it's a great way to get the set for a reduced price right off the bat if you, like I said, if you really like the set, but you think it's overpriced. Completely fair. So just think about those options, just like the same thing. And then I guess if you're going to do that fully upgraded version, that $700 mega version of the Jabba sail barge, and obviously we have to wait for the Light My Bricks kit to come out, so you'll just be sitting with a sealed Jabba sail barge. But that'll bring that down to like a little bit above that original $500 price point. So there are ways to make this set cheaper on yourself. If you're really worried about the price, definitely take those into consideration, or just buy a used one. People are going to build it and then sell it. Just buy a used one. HJ Rex says, weird question. What is your favorite? That dude, not a weird question. What is your favorite Star Wars set? Do non-official ones count? Because these two right behind me, oh boy, I can't point here. That and that, hands down my favorite. K2SO made by Starbricks, Mirko Sapelsa. Unbelievable. I can't wait for the Shore Trooper that's also in scale. And then this guy, which unfortunately you can't get the chrome pieces anymore. The Naboo N1 Starfighter by Jared Reese Weber and the Brick Collective. Chromed out in the front. It's unbelievable. Super expensive, but it's unbelievable. Those are my two favorites. In terms of like an official Star Wars set, I'm staring At a UCS Falcon that's sealed over there, and a sealed Republic gunship. That sealed UCS Falcon just might have a chance. Benjamin says, my favorite is the Republic Striker class fighter from the old Republic. Nice little throwback. That one's sweet. CPA says the hilt has already sold pre-sales on eBay for $150. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. I would never buy a pre-sale on this, because how do you know that person's going to get it? And at best, they're going to refund you, and then what? You have to go get it again anyways? I would never pre-order, but the fact that it is for $150, easily going to hit $200. I'm telling you, it's easily. So you're either getting a $200 gift with purchase for free if you want to keep it or build it, or you can get the Jabba Sail Barge for $300 by selling it. To each their own. All right, that's been 40 minutes of Jabba Sail Barge. Let's go ahead and move on a little bit. I talked about the fact that there's a massive controversy. Something happened this week that LEGO attacked. They tried to take away from us. It's our physical instruction booklets, man. Jumping off of a UCS set, the best part of them are the instruction. Well, not the best part. All right, let me slow down a second. One of the best parts are the printed instruction manuals. I can't wait to build that UCS Millennium Falcon one day with that spiral-bound instruction manual. It's got this feeling to it. And with the larger sets, it just hits differently. And then, earlier this week, LEGO decides to put up a survey regarding the future of instructions and a potential switch. So, oh boy, that's my planning doc. So they go ahead and they put the survey out on the Insider Reward Center, and they asked what the opinions were. Like, hey, do you guys like digital instructions, or for the sake of our sustainability, would you rather us shift away from that? No, we don't want digital instructions. I don't know about you guys, but I love the aspect of a physical instruction booklet. I've built digital ones for like MOCs before. It doesn't hit the same. It doesn't, to me, if I'm building one of those larger sets, having that booklet and just like something on in the background completely sucks me out of the whole digital space, and I'm truly just kind of in my own little world. If I'm sitting here with an iPad or a computer monitor, now I got to figure that out too. Or you're not going to use your phone. What are you going to zoom in on the instructions for the UCS Jabba Sail Barge? That'd be silly. Why would you do that? The fact that they even suggested it, that's frustrating. I understand they're trying to be more sustainable, but that is not the way. That is not the way. The survey was very quickly taken down, and an official statement was released by LEGO, and that's what I kind of had up there briefly, so you might have seen it just a touch. LEGO decided a couple days later, we would like to reassure fans that we have no plans to stop using physical building instructions in our products. Okay, but you did. But you did because you wouldn't have asked the question if you didn't think about it. So don't double back. You could admit it and say, hey, we understand the community loves these. At this time, for the foreseeable future, we're not going to pull them because of the support we got from the community. Could have just said that. I feel like that would have been the great way to go, but no, you said, no, we're not going to do it. You were thinking it. I know you were thinking it. CPA says, did you or anyone here see the survey? I was never able to see it. I actually didn't see it. I saw the news about it. I don't know how quickly it got taken down, but it was quick from what I understand. Unsurprising, it was probably just constant feedback of no, do not get rid of it. Do not get rid of it, is what I would expect. HJ Rex says, me too, instructions are the best and collect them is pretty fun too. Yeah, there is an aspect, and like, you know, you see these older sets and it's like with instructions, the instructions are in good condition. You got Toa Tahu as your picture. The Tahu instructions, those old Bionicle, there's a classic element to them that I think is worthwhile for collecting. And with those larger sets, it's a big part of the build for me. Don't take that away. And then they just had some related topics. I think this might just be for the site that I'm on. The Brick Fan. Shout out to the Brick Fan. Always dropping all the news. We conducted the survey to understand more about adult fans' preferences regarding our products and building experience, something we do regularly across a range of topics. We would like to thank our LEGO Insiders members who took the time to respond to the survey. Your feedback is important to us and helps us make our LEGO experiences even better. Okay, I feel like this is still a little bit of a Mickey Mouse apology here. Um, Obviously, they were checking preferences from what they're saying. Some believe that probably a little bit more than I do. Um, but they never had this question before. They've done like QR codes for like soundtracks alongside of instructions. The Mario sets had digital instructions, which were a complete flop, and people got mad about it. So they know the answer already. They tried it before and it didn't work. Um, the amount of people who filled out the survey, thank you guys. Thank you guys for for sticking it to the man, as Jack Black would say in the School of Rock. Stick it to the man, and let them know, hey, don't get rid of our instructions. There's Jabba Sail Barge again. Kramer says, I wonder how many people have actually used digital instructions for complete sets they own. For me, thinking mostly MOCs. I love when MOCs have printed instructions. If you watch my reviews for the K2SO or the Naboo Starfighter, you'll hear me mention, and when I was doing my own printed instructions for, this was one of the MOCs I had done a complete kit for. It's right down there. Or the Director, which was Krennic's UCS shuttle designed by Cave God, the printed instructions aspect was a complete game changer, not just for me, but for people that were acquiring these instructions and letting me know, like, dude, like, this makes the building experience so much better. It just does. We're not getting, like, IKEA instructions where they're black and white, like, wireframe CAD drawings. Like, no, they are a whole experience. And you're buying the set. Like, what's next? They're going to start releasing digital downloads for Lego Studio or Lego Digital Designer, and that's how we're going to get sets. You would never do that, so don't take our instructions. HJ Rex says the Bionicle instructions are really cool. They're sweet, especially those older Bionicle ones where they included like comics in the front those first couple years. So classic, so awesome for expanding the lore. Yeah, nail on the head, man. Benjamin says, will reviews on the Dark Hunter models, are you asking if I'm going to do reviews on the various Dark Hunter models? They were MOCs that were made officially characters by Lego. Those are ones that would require digital instructions. 99.9% sure of that. Maybe, because I'm obviously, once we finish Bionicle G2 content, I'm still going to want to roll some Bionicle stuff out. It's not going to go away, so we'll see. So yeah, that's the building instructions. So that was a really terrible thing that Lego did. That sounds a little harsh, but I think that was terrible. A good thing that they did, and something that they announced this week, was a new partnership. Lego is going to be partnering with Formula One F1 starting in 2025. When this is going to start is a little bit up in the air, because they noted that it's going to be with the start of F1, which the start of the 2025 season for F1 is March 16th. And then there's also a countdown on Lego's website that says 60 days, which is like Thanksgiving. So I have no idea when the actual things are happening here. Maybe I just can't read an F1 calendar. Maybe that's the moral of the story here. But I believe that should be March 16th. That partnership with Formula One is going to be bigger than just sets. Allegedly. Not allegedly, according to Lego. This is per the Brick Fan. The LEGO Group and Formula One have announced a brand new multi-year partnership launching in 2025, which will include a diverse product portfolio featuring all 10 Formula One teams on the grid. Those F1 teams, if you're not familiar with them, we've got McLaren, Red Bull Racing, Ferrari, Mercedes, in terms of your top tier Formula One. Then you dropped, just look at how many points there are in the standings, how far the drop off is. Aston Martin, RB, Haas, Williams, Alpine, and Kick Sauber. I'm not super into F1, but I think we've seen a lot of stuff with speed champions. That's where my head goes immediately. Are we just going to get F1 speed champion sets? I think it'd be cool if we start getting F1 drivers as the minifigures. What's tough with that is they do jump around a little bit. Like I remember seeing earlier this year that Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, two of the big dogs in F1's world, they merged onto the same team. Now they're on separate teams. So if you make a set, is like 6 months to gonna go down the line. It'd be like if they made sets for like NFL players. after one off season, now it's all awkward and your set on the shelf doesn't make a ton of sense. So I'm curious how they're going to handle something like that. But my head goes to like Speed Champion sets. The partnerships will bring fans closer to the Formula One experiences while promoting innovation, technology, and engineering. Now, there's going to be actual experiences tied in with Formula One events. I believe LEGO is supposed to be present at a lot of them going forward. Includes fan zone activations at various activations. I believe this should be activities at various Grand Prix and engaging content across LEGO Group's digital platforms. They've already had some Instagram. I'm sure it's going to be all social media stuff. But yeah, that's what I think that would be there. The LEGO Formula One products will include sets for Duplo as well as sets for kids, teenagers, and adult builders. So we're getting a whole theme here. To range that high, obviously with adult sets, we're thinking larger display models like those $150 to $200 cars, those buildable sets, maybe a large Technic F1 car. That's 2 years down the road, though. They just released the McLaren this year, so in 2 years. But they did say multi-year deal, so we'll see exactly where that goes for adult sets. But I think it's exciting. CPA says, I think all of 2025 Speed Champs will be F1 related. Rest in peace. Hey, man, we don't know that. Don't throw that out there. We don't know that yet. Obviously, Speed Champions does kind of just like supercars in general, and they're awesome. Some of the best bang for your buck, best displayable models in the entire LEGO market. But if they were to shift and say, hey, we're going to release all 10 F1 cars and this is your Speed Champions, yeah, that'd be a bummer. Because if you're not super into F1 but you still want some cars, now what? There's not a lot of variety there. They're all going to generally look close. HJ Rex says the 2001's one with the collectible aspect for the combination model are really cool. Yeah, jumping back to Bionicle instructions. Yeah, those ones, some of my favorite graphics all time, Bionicle. CPA says also, according to the Brick Reporter, there's an F1 CMF line that will not include minifigs, but have buildable cars with heads and helmets. Yeah, that's a big L, dude. Build now. If you're gonna do something like that, why don't you just give us Bionicle back? Are they gonna make cars like the movie? Is that what they're like? They're gonna make cars? I cannot. I don't think I can get behind that one. But if they're also giving us adult sets, shoot, they throw 18 plus on everything. Then I won't complain about those younger ones. We'll leave it at that. The 10 teams on the grid, we went through them. Little something from every team. This was LEGO's official statement for it. I don't think so. This is where it says launching with the 2025 F1 season. To my understanding, that's March 16th, but on their website, the countdown says 60 days. So make it make sense. The partnership will bring together worlds of F1 fandom, the families around the world, promoting innovation, technology, engineering. Yep, read that already. Diverse product portfolio featuring all 10 teams currently on the grid. What does that mean? I don't know. Are they going to release one $200, $300 mega kit with all 10 F1 cars? Probably not. But you never know. Again, like I said before, it's kind of redundant to release 10 F1 cars. Are they going to make a pit station for one team? I'm curious to see how they do all 10. 10's not a small number. But we'll see. Again, I guess bringing it back to my idea of an NFL line, yeah, I would expect them to make 32 of the same thing, and I would be absolutely jacked up for that. So maybe F1 fans would be for 10 cars too. Just the general LEGO fan, I don't think would be, though. Fan zone activations. Okay, so activations was the actual term that LEGO said. I still think they're using the wrong one there. Where they're going to scan a digital coupon and now you're activating something for a digital world. Digital platforms. Yeah, sure. I guess maybe that actually is the case. This will include products from LEGO Duplo for preschool children and sets for kids of all ages, as well as teenage and adult builders. Lots of variety there. I think it's cool. I think LEGO getting into sports is cool. We've never got, we got the NBA and we got some NHL sets way back in the day. Obviously, Shaq shows up in the LEGO movie. massive cameo, loved it, crushed it. But we haven't really gotten many sports beyond that. And I think the sports world is somewhere that Lego really could get involved with. I'm someone that massive NFL fan. Absolutely jacked up. That's a big reason why there hasn't been a lot of stuff going on. Is there's a ton of stuff going on with like the NFL season and fantasy drafts and yeah, massive NFL and sports fan. So for me personally, and a lot of like my friend group, I knew they would be super into it. I had done an event at one of my office buildings that is kind of like a community office space, and we did a Lego building event with baseball mosaics, and that was awesome. A ton of people loved it that weren't super into Lego, but it was a small 4x6 mosaic that they could put on their desk of their team logo, and it was a killer. And people were asking, "Can we do this again? Can we do this again?" Then I got orders for those models to just do separately. Like, there is a world of sports, or I know like CPA, you're hanging around here and you're super big into, I guess I could just say like soccer, football, in the European Premier League, Champions League, all of that. They've obviously released the stadiums for those teams. Like, there is a world for sports. I do like Lego getting into sports. F1 isn't maybe where I would have gone first with that, because there is such a car market in Lego already. Are you just going to oversaturate it? And then, like, we're CPA saying, you know, is F1 just going to kind of dominate the speed champions? Are you going to cause issues there? Or should you dabble other places? Should you release a Lambeau Field, a Fenway Park or something? I think the whole basis of this is, yes, Lego, keep diving into sports. I love it. Keep going. Benjamin says, I'm heading out. See you all next time. See you, man. Thank you. Thank you for all the messages you were dropping in. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw this QR code up for the $25 Lego Shop gift card. It might not be a ton, but guess what? It might be another $25 off your Jabba sail barge, or you can get a free set, or $25 off the Desert Skiff. I don't know. Use it for whatever you want. Use it to buy another gift card. I don't care, but that's going to be going at the end of this stream. So again, link is in the description, but that QR code works as well. Kramer says, is there much variation between different cars? I can't answer definitively on this. I would want to say no. Generally, these are incredibly talented engineers that design these things. I imagine their formulas all lead to a very similar place. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of variation. HJ Rex says, is there a Matsuri Monday tomorrow? Are you somewhere where it's Sunday already? It's still Saturday. I don't think so. I really wanted to push to get this live stream going today. I also am trying to stock up on as many of these Bionicle sets as I can so that we don't hit a gap between like 2015, 2016. I guess I've accidentally created like a month-long gap between the Protectors and the Lord of Skull Spiders, which will be the next one. So no, that'll be next Monday, not this one. I really wish I had more time today to get that done, but unfortunately I just don't. Would love a sports CMF line for soccer. Yeah, make athletes with CMF. Athletes, that'd be perfect. They would get a little bit more NIL, obviously name, image, and likeness. If you're familiar with college sports, that acronym has been tossed around so much in the past couple of years. Yeah, give them some more NIL. Give them more than just their jersey sales. Hey, now you got a Lego minifigure. Now you got a Lego set of you. People will be pumped. Look at Miles Turner in the community for Lego. Massive. I mean, I don't know if people understand how good of an NBA player he is. He's the all-time leader in blocks for the Indiana Pacers. The all-time leader in blocks. Like, that's a big deal. And he is obviously super present. He showed up at Brick World Chicago this past June. Like, there is such a market for it. Dwight Howard, I know, is super into Lego. Rodrigo Blankenship, NFL kicker. I believe he's a free agent right now. Hopefully someone picks him up once they deal with some kicker injuries. But he is super into Lego. John Mechie, super big into Lego. And I'm completely blanking on someone that's super big. I cannot remember right now off the top of my head. This is so disappointing. I really should remember this, because I remember them saying, maybe it was John Mechie saying during the draft he built Lego sets to kind of calm down. It's a very stressful situation waiting to get drafted. I think it was John Mechie. Now I think about it. But there's another NFL player that's super big into Lego. So that's a thing. CPA says, at Kramer, almost all of the 2025 Speed Champ F1s will have exactly the same clone build. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. So, hopefully not, but that's unfortunately where it would probably be heading. David Beckham. A Bend It Like Beckham set. Now we're talking. Get people really fired up. Make either Ronaldo or Messi, and then one of their fan base is going to freak out, and then the next year release the other. I feel like there's so many opportunities. Give me a Tom Brady CMF. Even though I'm a Jets fan, and if you Aaron Rodgers at the time, I love Tom is all-time number one though. But yeah, drop some CMFs of that. I mean, I kind of said earlier that creates the issue of like during the off season, now all of a sudden like that team doesn't really work anymore, so the stadiums maybe work better. But there's so many opportunities for Legos in sports. David Hernandez says, I wish they did more sets with CMF figures for movies, like Real Steel if they made a part 2. Yeah, CMFs in general, are these going to come back or what? What do we think? We think they're going to start dominating space a little bit more? Oh, Beckham is a huge fan of Lego. Yes, he is. I've seen videos of David Beckham building Lego. Give us a David Beckham set too, though, man. That might have been it. David Beckham is a massive, massive Lego fan. He's posted videos before of him with his sets in his collection, and they're awesome. So there's this entire world that I hope Lego's tapping into, starting with F1. I can tell you from being super plugged into all the NFL news that they are always looking for partnerships and to spread their name. The whole thing with, not to dive into the whole Taylor Swift situation in the NFL and Travis Kelce, but that brought in an entirely new market of young girls who are now watching the NFL. Boy, Lego, like, maybe release some sets for kids about the NFL. I'm sure the NFL will be pumped about it. Absolutely pumped. Or any other sport. I'm biased, but yeah, that's there. So that's kind of my whole sports rant for everything. Now we'll get into some promos. There are some promos going on. I always like to highlight what sets are on sale or promos that are going on because, like we saw the Jabba sale barge and kind of talked about, with sets are getting smaller and more expensive. Shout out inflation. We always are trying to save money. You can always save money on Lego. You don't have to buy a set for full price if you don't want to. I guarantee you every set on the shelf at some point or another, whether it's be at Amazon or at a Lego event, or in the case of a promo such as the one going on right now for Batman sets, VIP point boosts to reduce that price just a little bit. Or they're insider points now. I'm sorry. They're not VIP points anymore. So right now, Batman, it is Batman Day. I believe it's today. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I also found out today that DC stands for Detective Comics. That's pretty cool. There's a promo going on right now where almost every Batman set is double VIP points, and there are triple VIP points for the Tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy and the Batman Shadow Box. I have the Tumbler right there to a shelf over here. One day I'll actually film going this way in the studio. There's a whole other wall set up over here. But it's sitting over there. Incredible set. If you're a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, or you know someone who's a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, fantastic. And at 3 times VIP points, you're looking at about 15% off in terms of like your perceived value. So now's a great time to do that. There's also a small little gift with purchase that comes with it, a 1992 Batman. I don't know if this is a completely exclusive minifigure or what, but at the end of the day, at the very least, I mean, you see how I've got the Tahunga, the McTaurin over here. You can do the same thing with CMF minifigures. I know plenty of people do. You can do it with this Batman one, this 1992 Batman. So that's also included with only $40 or over. You don't have to spend that much, which you never really should for just a minifigure. But yeah, you don't have to spend that much and you can get it. And if you were kind of holding back on any of the Batman sets and you really your eye really caught one, now's a great time to buy it. Double VIP points, 10%, not off, but 10% back in points, 15% for those triple sets. So definitely something to think about. Otherwise, there's still like the general sales going on. The tumbler is actually on sale via Amazon for I think $230. I think it's 10% off or 11% off. Maybe the 230 was wrong, but I know it's 11% off on Amazon, which is, if you want to compare to the triple VIP points, it's less perceived savings, but it's more upfront savings of, hey, you're just spending less for the set. HJ Rex says, yo, what type of watch are you wearing? I like watches, by the way. I like them too, man. I like them over the digital watches. The one I'm wearing right now is a Hamilton Pilot Day-Date Auto. It is, if you're familiar with the movie Interstellar, it is the watch that Matthew McConaughey wears in Interstellar. One of my all-time favorite movies. It's a very classic watch. Yeah, that's what I'm wearing right now. It is a Hamilton, is the brand of the watch. The Hamilton Pilot Day-Date Auto. CPA says, finally go the Lego delivery. Wait, okay. All right, my mind's splitting a little bit here. Is this a little bit of I know you're dealing with a cold, you're battling off a virus right now. Finally go Lego delivery truck today from Costco for, the set. Duh. Maybe I'm the one dealing with a head cold. Finally got the Lego delivery truck today from Costco for $60. Yeah, dude, the Lego delivery truck, what a set. What a set. People who have cities are absolutely love that thing. $60. Costco, dude, for whatever reason, Costco always seems to have great deals on Lego. So again, there's always deals out there for Lego. If you think something is too expensive, I promise you will be able to get it for cheaper. I promise. Or at the very worst case, at the end of the day, just buy it used off of eBay, Bricklink, whatever. You'll get it for cheaper, and it'll be, I've done it plenty of times where I've done sets for like reviews or just built sets and then sold them right after. They're going to be in perfect condition. Just ask the person to take it apart before they send it. CM2 says, do you think Bionicle will come back in 2025? No, we would have found out by now if it was coming back in 2025. I don't know if there's ever going to be a Gen 3 of Bionicle. I hate to be the downer on that, but I really don't know. The gift with purchase that we got at the beginning of 2000, and was that the beginning of 2023? 2023? I think that was done. Yeah. I think that was kind of the full extent of what we could expect. I would be curious to see a line of like a redo of Gen 1 in like a different style. I think if we're going to get new Bionicle, I wouldn't mind seeing remakes of the original stuff. I really wouldn't, unless they're going to nail the story and characters. Like they kind of butchered it with G2 is what we're finding out through Matsunumi Mondays and through that content. So they kind of butchered the characters for G2, and that was a big letdown. But if they can pull it off, I'm all for it. I just don't see it happening. The fan base is there for sure. It's just up to Lego to do it. Shoot, they barely acknowledge us in any of their stuff. HJ Rex, me too, good movie. Dude, Interstellar, a little bit slower, a little long, but man, is that a top tier movie. If any of you have never seen it, put it up at the top of your list. Absolutely incredible. There you finally got. Yeah, dude, I was confused for a second there. I was like, are you talking about like the delivery truck dropped something off on your porch or something like that? What are we talking here? HJ Rex says, what's going to be the next live streams prize? You know what? I'll go ahead and say it. The next live streams prize is going to be, and shout out Lego CPA for, I guess, not Lego CPA anymore, CPA for getting these sets. There's going to be a Onua, a Kopaka, and a Tahu 2001 in incredible condition with canisters, with instructions. That's going to be a part of the giveaway. Whether or not I do individually or just lump together, I'm probably going to do individuals, but that's going to be the next prize. I might throw like an e-gifts card again on top of it, just because I enjoy doing it. It gives you guys something, and I don't always have just like a sealed set to give. And if I have like a sealed set giving around, I don't want to just make it the sense of like, hey, help me clear my space. Like, no, it's an intentional giveaway. Trying to give you guys something good. So that's going to be the next stream's prizes. But speaking of this stream's prizes, I'm going to throw the QR code up as we're going through. At this point, we can just hang out for another couple minutes, do some Q&A. Whatever you guys want to ask, go for it. And we'll do a giveaway, and that'll wrap up the live stream. I guess I want to go on a quick little rant real quick about box art. I mentioned this for like a second earlier about how the 18 plus box art absolutely blows. And yeah, I think that's true because look at this. The black box art was cool at first. Now I just don't care for it. I don't like it. Um, I wish this was on screen. I wish the UCS Falcon was on screen. I'm not going to go grab the whole box, but it's such a difference. It's such a difference. We have so many black boxes, and I understand they're trying to cater to adults and that whole situation, whatever. But, dude, like, just give us a background. If we're going to spend $500 on this, believe me, the box art's not going to change my mind. For the casual, whatever. But give us some real box art again, Lego. We all want it. We all want it. Just make it happen. It really is. It's disappointing to me. I don't like the black box art. Like, look at that's just bland with the scenes on the bottom. It's just copy paste. I want to see some innovation. I want to see some creativity. And they think they're slick, like the twin suns in the back. Ooh, congrats. But like, I want more. Give me the whole Tatooine in the background. Give me the Sarlacc pit somewhere. Shoot, remember when Lego used to tease sets in previous in other ones? What was the set? It was a Death Star. It was the UCS Death Star, and there was a shadow, a silhouette of the Millennium Falcon, and then we got the UCS Millennium Falcon. Do more stuff like that. I know that leaks happen and whatever, but like, give us more stuff like that, please. Give us creative box art, not this bland. And they're, especially like with the boxes now, like a lot of people I understand throw them out, but like not as likely to do that if it's actually a cool box, and it makes the value go up too. If their goal is to increase recycling, they're definitely achieving it, because I can tell you that the black box art is really not worth saving. Like the Lamborghini, that box is incredible. What they did for that, the entire thing is awesome. It's literally like an entirely neon green box on one side. So, and by the way, you're still using ink to print the black box art. So just be creative, guys. Pay some graphic designers. I guess they still are paying graphic designers, but pay them more because it'll take them more time. That's what I'll say. That's my rant on box art. HJ Rex, when's the next stream going to be? Ideally next Saturday. That's the plan, is next Saturday. Be doing one. We'll hopefully have some news, maybe have a specific topic to go over, or maybe we just hang out for a little bit. CPA says they tease the UCS Falcon and the UCS TIE or Slave 1 or something. Yeah, let me search it real quick. I swear that I thought it was the Death Star. Maybe it was the UCS Star Destroyer. Let's find out. Silhouette. It was a Death Star. 7 years ago? Oh my god. It was the Death Star. Let's find it. Ha! Take that, CPA. Let's see. Death Star. Stock. Yep, there it is. Bright and clear. Retired product. They haven't had a Death Star in a while. Look at that. That is sick. And then we got the UCS Millennium Falcon. Like, the hype is so real. I like this badge. It's a little bit vintage now, I guess. The Lego Star Wars Ultimate Collector series. But I like that better than what we get right now with the box arts. Like, they're just bland, man. It's sad, but, like, they're just bland. Ultimate Collector series. Like, they're clearly trying to make it, like, a little bit more like catering to their older fans, but like we are the older fans. Like I'm fine with that nostalgic like box art. Like, believe me, if this background was Tatooine, I'm honestly probably more prone to go buy it. Versus when I walk in, and that's the sad part about walking in the Lego store nowadays, is you just see a wall of black boxes, and it's like, this is depressing. Like, where's our, like, Where's our mission? And then you look over at like the Marvel section, the Disney section, the speed, like, and you just see this incredible line of box art. And it's like, oh, but for the professional sets, we can't get that? Bring it back. I don't like the wall of black boxes. It was cool at first when they did it for a couple sets. It's like, oh, this is sleek. This is nice. It's not cool anymore, Lego. You overdid it. Especially when we're getting $50 sets with black box art. Like, it's you're kind of pulling away from what you are. Like, you're a toy company. Make it fun. Just my opinion. CPA, oh, there you go. Yep, the front of the Death Star. I felt like the only question that I kind of was like stuck on was like, did the Death Star come out before or after the Falcon? But I believe that Death Star was 2015, and then the Falcon was 2017. Which in that case, if they tease the set like 18 months out, like, I love that. I love it. Now things happen so quick and leaks come out that like I don't know how much you can do. Like, we found out about the Jabba sail barge literally like 18 months ago, like a long time ago. We found out about this being rumored, and then it was confirmed and all that. But yeah, I guess kind of as we're wrapping up here, curious what you guys, your opinion is in the chat of what do you think about the release timelines in terms of when people who are in LAN or can pick up the set early are able to release reviews. I find that unfortunately when they get them way too early, there's this fatigue by the time the set actually comes out, to the point where I'm like, I feel like I've seen so much content for the set, it doesn't even feel new anymore. Like, I saw the pictures for the new battle pack finally get like officially released for the Imperial dropship and the Rebel troopers, and it was like, oh my god, I completely forgot that was even coming out this year. It felt like it came out in June. I think with this one, with it launching this week, so much better. To find like the first pictures 2 weeks before release, like, yes, there's so much content out for it right now of people who actually got the set and did reviews, that maybe just stay away from it to give yourself. But I think if they were to, I think it was better than what they did for like the Summer Wave sets when it was like 2 months out and people were releasing reviews and it was like, by the time these come out, I don't care anymore. I think if they were to do this like the week before, I guess like officially announced 2 weeks out, early reviews 1 week out. And then I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, let's go hit the Lego store. Let's go get these sets. That I feel like is the ideal timing, but for whatever reason, everyone gets stuff super early. Curious what your guys' thoughts on that, if anyone. HJ Rex says, just don't watch it. Yeah, but that's too hard. It's too hard not to watch it. Also, like, you know, so much content's coming out about it that it's just super saturated. And like, as a reviewer for myself, like, other people will watch that stuff for weeks and then not want to watch it when I can finally get my hands on it. And I feel like that's, in terms of like a growth issue, obviously, like the community that we've built here, obviously, like, we all, like, you guys typically will tune into videos, but in terms of growth, it's kind of hard to do that when people are getting them 2 months early, and then by the time I get my hands on them, there's already 50 reviews out, versus if you get it day one and get the thrill of day one, get it, build it, review it. You know, just my thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and throw the QR code up here for another couple minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and run that $25 giveaway. Again, also the link is in the description. I know QR code only works if like you're watching this on like a desktop and then pulling from a separate device. But yeah. So let's go ahead and run this giveaway. Thank you guys for joining in today. It's been over 2 months since the last stream, and man, I'm having such a big blast being back. It feels great. Obviously making Matanui Monday content again. It's been fantastic. Excited to keep going. Fortunately, not this Monday. Now with football season, with the NFL being back, my Sundays are essentially just that. Wake up at 10 a.m. Pre-game starts. Games start at 1 o'clock. Games end at 11 o'clock. There goes your Sunday. So that's just how it's going to be until February. So I'm going to be doing more of that during the week, but I didn't have the opportunity to get that video done this week. I was at 2 NFL games on Monday and Thursday night, so next Monday will be the Lord of Skull Spiders review, and then we'll keep rolling with 2015. Then we've got the Skull Villains. Then we've got the Mask Maker, like ultimate little battle set. CPA says, normally there's a bigger lag between the website reveal and the LAN and hand reviews, so my video on the Barge basically died. Yeah, I saw your video on the sale Barge, and then I was like searching through on my TV to watch more before I wanted to talk about the set. And I was like scrolling through and I was just like, oh my god, like there's so much. I didn't realize this many people were actually getting it. All right, let's run a giveaway. Let's run a giveaway. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to close off that poll. $25 for Lego Shop at Home. Free to enter. If you watched the stream and didn't enter, next time enter. Next week we're going to have physical prizes, which will be cool. The Bionicles. And then maybe a $25 gift card. But let's go ahead and just got to edit this formula over in Google Sheets. It's nice how this works. You can kind of just like format your formula to randomize off of that based on your entries, and it just auto updates as people are filling out. It's fantastic. But 3, 2, 1, the winner, $25, which you'll get after this live stream, is David Hernandez. Congratulations, man. I don't think I've seen your name pop up for a previous giveaway win, so congrats. Again, after the stream, I'll email you you'll get a delivery, probably just straight from Lego with the e-gift card, $25. Enjoy it, man. Let me know in one of the future streams what you use it for. Would love to hear how it helps out your collection. And to the rest of you guys, real quick, David, I'll answer your question. Where do you get your Bionicles? Bricklink and eBay. Don't buy them up before I need to use them. Wait until after, please. There's some sets that are so hard to get in a box or sealed in new condition or in good condition. But Bricklink and eBay. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been great, episode 3. Episode 4, again, should be next weekend. We're going to have some physical giveaways with the original 2001 Toyota. We got 3 of those going. And hopefully we get some big news this week with Lego and have some fun things to talk about. Or we just hang out and we talk about some old news. So anyways, thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic night. And as always, stay bricking.